How can you get somebody in your target market on a call to be able to ask them questions, not necessarily to immediately sell to them, but much more to interview them about their needs, about their pain points, about their problems, so that you can then craft an offer according to these pain points that they mentioned to you. My name is Michael Bohannes. I help consultants to build client acquisition systems and be less reliant on referrals. And this is one of those topics that we work on very often with those clients of mine who come in and they don't yet have an established target market. They have not yet sold to their potential clients. And so what we need to do is to do a systematic customer discovery process. And so what we do there, we set the goal of, okay, we identify one persona, we identify one hypothesis for an offer, and then we approach people in the target market with the aim of getting them on a call. And our goal is to get 30 people to talk to us. So how can we do this? How can we actually get on people's calendars? Now, you could, of course, just go for sheer volume and try to brute force your way into people's calendars. I don't recommend doing that because it can burn your target market unnecessarily so. And you want to build some goodwill so that potentially those people who you will get on the phone will also then potentially want to work with you. And it's a little bit more difficult if you try to do that via just volume and non-personalization. So I've recently got a message from somebody who I've known a little bit, but not very well. And this person actually did such a good approach with me that I wanted to show you his message and point out what worked so well in this, because he obviously wants to sell to somebody like me. And I thought that his approach was incredibly well done. And that's why I wanted to show you this message. So let's look at it. So here you see his message and he says, "Hey, Michael, how are you? I have a favor to ask you. I'm building a service that helps personal brands expand to other platforms with video through very minimal time investment on their part. But I need to know what their problems and challenges with content mostly are. Would you be against a 30-minute call where we would just discuss what the biggest challenges and obstacles in creating video content for you are? I know you already have an editor, so I won't be trying to sell you. The point is just to get the information to build the best service possible. Can I do anything to help raise the chances of us getting on a call?" So here are the reasons why this message is so good. First of all, he says, "I have a favor to ask you." So he just is very upfront and he just says, yes, it would be a favor. Then he explains what he does. He explains this very concisely. "I'm building a service that helps blah, blah, blah." So he expresses that he's about to build that. He doesn't pretend that he's already doing that and try to get the conversation through the back door by saying, "Hey, this is what we do. Could I have a couple minutes of your time to just understand your needs?" No, he actually says, "I'm building a service." And then he admits, "I need to know what their problems and challenges with content mostly are." So that is great. It's, again, honesty, and also at the same time, it's a very specific context that he provides. Then he asks, "Would you be against a 30-minute call where we could just discuss what the biggest challenges are?" So would you be against? I don't like this phrasing particularly, but it doesn't hurt. But he also tells me how long the conversation would be. So he just says 30 minutes. That's good. And then, and that is a very key part, he says, "I know you already have an editor, so I won't be trying to sell you." Now, if you don't know this about somebody who you want to work with, he says, you might already have this problem covered, or you might have these bases covered, and then you say, "So I won't be trying to sell you." The point is just to get the information to build the best service possible. Right? That is a great paragraph because he, of course, disarms his counterpart. And what effectively then happened, we had a conversation, and he did then mention something that he could do for me. And I don't mind at all because, and this applies universally, if you have somebody on a call and you have told them, "I won't be trying to sell you anything," and then you have a really good rapport on the phone and you see that they are really listening to you and they are interested in what you do, you then, by saying something like, "I know I told you that I won't be trying to sell you, but would you mind my asking if this is something that we could help you with?" Right? Nobody will resent you for it. Right? Nobody will say, "Hey, you said you wouldn't sell me and now you're selling. Look at you, you sneaky bastard." No, nobody will say that. So this is a great line to get on somebody's calendar. And then another great sentence that he says, "Can I do anything to help raise the chances of us getting on a call?" And the reason why I like this is because he really wants to make it as convenient for me as possible. Because what this question prompted me to think about was, well, the thing is, I walk my dog in the morning every day, somewhere between 8 and 8:30. So I might as well just have a conversation with him while I'm walking my dog. And so, but I don't want to commit to a specific minute. If I say 8 a.m., it might be inconvenient. I might get up a little bit too early or too late, and then it's going to be 8:10. I don't like that. So I said, okay, listen, tomorrow I'm going to be starting my walk with the dog anywhere from 8 to 8:15. And so please give me your phone, be ready between this time, block your calendar, and I'll give you 20 minutes of my time. And I then also said, yeah, I usually walk my dog, it's usually 20 minutes and so I didn't want to give him the 30. We ended up talking probably about 30, it doesn't matter. But I kind of gave him a window of 20 minutes. And so he saying, can I do anything to help raise the chances of us getting on a call? That really got me to think of how I can make this as convenient for me as possible while also being respectful to him. It's not like I'm going to say, well, sometimes in the next 2 weeks, I'm going to call you. No, I should say tomorrow, be available between this and this time, and then I will call you. I will make the decision when I will call you. And this then worked out perfectly. And he was very good on the call. And he asked me some very, very pertinent questions. And who knows, we might work together. I currently really don't need him because I have my video needs. Indeed, they are covered. But he's absolutely somebody who I'm willing to recommend. He actually did one test video for me, so he's very good at what he does. I strongly recommend that you work with him. He's a video editor based in Slovenia, and I really like the guy. And this approach really showed me this is a professional who, he's very young, he's like 23 years old, but he's a real professional who wants to serve his audience well. And so I hope that this type of message inspires you to craft your own approaches in a similar way and to make them as convenient as possible for your counterparts to respond to. If you don't know somebody, because he already knew me a little bit, we had exchanged a couple of messages back and forth. But if you don't know anyone, then build those relationships in a very tenuous basis. You just comment on people's content, message them and say, hey, that really made a difference to me, and something like this, like a few touch points, so you're not a complete stranger to them. And then send them this kind of a message. That's a really, really good approach. And if you do that, I would love to hear your stats. Please collect this kind of info. You build relationships with 20 people like that, then you message them how many of them actually got on a call with you. And I would be very surprised, if not 10, maybe even 20% of people who you approach in this way, they would not give you a little bit of their time. Okay, so I hope this was useful. If, by the way, you are looking to get help with building client acquisition systems, you can click the link in the description. You don't have to, but I just thought I'd mention it because this is exactly the type of problem that we help our clients solve. So this is what we could help you do. If not, no worries at all. I wish you all the best, and I hope that your approaches to prospective clients will be crowned with success.